Someone needs to tell all of these AI companies to slow down because we have yet another model to start testing out and seeing if it's good for creative writing, and that is Gemini 3.1. If you saw my videos in the past on Gemini 3, it quickly became one of my favorite models for writing, and I even thought that it was at the same level as the Claude models, which traditionally have been better for writing. But today we have 3.1 hot off the heels of Claude Opus 4.6 and Claude Sonnet 4.6, which were recently released. And if you saw my Sonnet video, which I literally recorded just like an hour ago, you'll know that I actually was pleasantly surprised by that model. I thought it was really good overall and was excited to get into this one, Gemini 3.1, to see if it's just as good or better than what we had before. So let's dive in. First of all, we have our logline prompt where I ask you to give us a bunch of loglines for an epic fantasy. I do keep these prompts intentionally simple to see how good do these models do right out of the gate with no special training wheels or examples of my prose or anything like that, with one exception. And so this is the one that it gave us. I do think that some of these ideas, while they are a little bit generic and relying on some really old tropes like this chosen one here, I do actually think that Gemini does just a little bit better at brainstorming than the Claude models. Sorry, I'm going to do a lot of comparisons to the Claude models because I've recently reviewed those two models. It's just in my head right now. I do think it does a better job at being a little bit more unique. And honestly, the Gemini models have been better at things like brainstorming and stuff in the past. I remember the first Gemini models at the time were the best ones for brainstorming compared to other models, which tend to be a little bit more flat and a little more generic. And I do think that is the case here, just looking at some of these. Like when the prophesied hero is accidentally killed on the eve of a demon invasion, his cowardly squire must pose as the chosen one to rally a fractured kingdom. He must face down a dark lord who cannot be defeated by a fraud, risking everything to become the legend he is pretending to be. It's not necessarily it's not really an original plot, but you know, it's different than what I get out of Claude models. Does that make sense? One thing I did like about what it gave me here is it actually divided it up into sections. So here it gave me 5 log lines about misfits and outcasts. And then we had 5 about that. And then here it says 5 log lines about curses and magic gone wrong. So the fact that it did this kind of categorization actually did result in a little bit more of a variety of ideas here. So for instance, we have banished to the frozen waste for possessing forbidden fire magic. A disgraced pyromancer must master the ice sorcery she despises to defeat a rogue elemental god. In a cruel twist of fate, she discovers her hated, uncontrollable flames are the exact key to saving the people who exiled her. You know, so things like that in different, different categories here. But if I'm being honest, nothing particularly groundbreaking here, kind of similar to a lot of the other ideas that I get from this prompt from other models. So definitely you can get good brainstorming out of most AI models these days, but you do have to supply it with more of your own uniqueness, your own ideas. Otherwise, it's going to default to the really generic ideas. Quick pause. If you're an author who wants to start writing more books, I put together my complete AI prompt pack that helped me and many others in my community write a book in a month. It's completely free. Hit the link in the description. Join the free waitlist for StoryHacker Gold. Then you just answer a couple quick questions and I'll send you the full prompt list plus a few extra free goodies. I'll also email you when I open the paid StoryHacker Gold group so you can join if it feels right. There's no commitment to join though, and you'll still be able to get all of the freebies you signed up for either way. All right, back to the video. All right, now let's look at the outline. So I actually thought the outline was pretty good. In comparison to the Claude models all went into a lot more depth per chapter, which might seem like a good thing. For me personally, I like shorter. And if you look at these, we have like chapter 1, chapter 2, chapter 3. This is about the level of outline that I like, just in terms of how much detail we need per chapter. And then I sort of figure it out as I go, but that's me personally. A lot of people like far more detailed outlines. And if you are one of those people, the Claude models are definitely going to be better for you. This one was fine. It did tell a cohesive story. I was able to get through more of it because it was so much shorter. It did tell a cohesive story, but I don't think definitely was not giving me a whole bunch of detail. And if I were somebody that wanted more detail, I would probably pick the other ones. I do also feel like all of the Claude models have traditionally been fantastic for outlining. It's one of the things that they seem to be good at. So I would give the edge a little bit to the Claude models in this case. All right, going to the basic prose prompt. This is where I ask it to write a quick scene. I give it just a brief description of the scene, and I don't really give it any explanation about how to write it or anything like that. I just ask it to write. Unfortunately, I was a bit disappointed by the results here, and I had to actually go back to my original results for Gemini 3, and I looked through that and I was like, man, did I like this? I mean, it's not bad. And I think at the time I was making it, we didn't have that many good options still. But I feel like the Claude models have gotten a little bit better since then. And having just done the Claude model, the reaction video to Claude Sonnet 4.6, and then coming back to this, I think I was a bit disappointed by this. First of all, you notice there's some gigantic paragraphs here, which no one likes to read through, which is funny because I often feel like Gemini doesn't do that, but that's what it seems to have done in this case. And looking through it, let's read through the little moment that I tend to read through the most. Let's see. His knees buckled, catching on the sharp outcrop of flint, and he crashed hard into the earth. A ragged sob, there's a AI slopism right there, from his raw throat as he forced himself up, casting a desperate, bloodshot gaze over his shoulder. Like, there's a lot of this sort of overly dramatic adjectives and things that are kind of indicative of AI here. There, cresting the hazy horizon where the darkening sky met the earth, was the scattered figures of his nightmare. They moved with a terrifying, unnatural cadence, a spastic, jerky motion, arms twitching and legs lurching forward as if their limbs operated on decaying, rusting hinges. Through the dimming light, Haldred counted at least 200 of the fiends spilling over the rocky ridge. They wore no armor and carried no weapons, for the hungry needed neither. Their gaunt, stretched skin was the color of wet ash, blending so perfectly with the gray, twilight-drenched wasteland that it seemed as though the very stones had sprouted limbs and began to pursue him. So definitely, like, way more description than we needed. It's certainly a kind of an important dramatic moment, but I feel like the amount of drama here is like over the top, and what I got out of Sonnet 4.6 was a little bit better and more natural, I feel. Going to the advanced prose prompt, where I give it the same scene, but I do give it examples of my prose and other things for it to follow, you can see, first of all, it did a little better on the paragraphs, which it probably got from the samples of my work that it was looking at. But if we read that same moment here, Haldred spun his head and searched the horizon. Figures crested the distant ridgeline. They did not march or run. They lurched forward with spasmodic, joint-locking spasms, flinging their limbs forward to drag their bodies across the uneven terrain. He counted 24 of them spread out across the ridge. The hungry, their molted ash-gray skin mirroring the barren rocks behind them, rendering them near invisible save for their twitching silhouettes against this dying sun. They closed the distance. They tracked the scent of his exhaustion. I do think this is better. This is definitely better than the previous one that we read. So, and I actually think that this is often true of the Gemini models in my experience so far. I think Gemini is actually better at molding to the style that you ask it to mold to. I think it responds better to your prompts in terms of style than Claude models do. That's just my intuition there based on my experience so far. But I think Claude is out of the box better. And you can still manipulate the Claude models and get it to write in your specific style and stuff too. I'm not saying you can't. I'm just saying I think Gemini does that a little bit better, but the vanilla version of both, Gemini is not as good. I think that's my new assessment there. All right, then we move to the dialogue prose template, where it's a different scene, same story, but different scene with a little bit of dialogue added in there. Let's see. The prince speaks with admirable compassion, your majesty, albeit with the passionate foolishness of youth. A silken voice slithered from the shadows behind the throne. Argyll stepped into the light, his dark velvet robe sweeping silently over the polished floor. The royal advisor offered Lathan a condescending smile that didn't reach his dead, calculating eyes. My hot-blooded prince, the statutes you so eagerly wish to abandon are the very bedrock of Varlden's survival. If we crack the gates for every pursued soul, we risk letting the monsters inside. Surely even you can comprehend that our rigidity is for the safety of Varlden as a whole. A tragedy outside the gate, yes, but a necessary one. Yeah, I don't like this. It's a little over the top. It's a little windy, windbaggy, and not something that I would probably use without a lot of editing. It is what it is. Then I ask it to take the same scene, but written by a really poor model from back in the day, and see if it can improve on it. I did not see anything particularly better about this. It keeps a lot of the same dialogue, and the description is just not much better, if I'm being honest. Although all of the models that I've tested recently do make improvements on the original scene that I give it, very few of them do so in such a way that I wouldn't just rewrite the scene with a newer model instead. that's easier to do than to try and improve on the scene, on the original scene. All right, so now let's go to add headline to see how well it does with this. And I actually thought it did a pretty good job here overall. If you remember my Claude Sonnet 4.6 video, I mentioned that a lot of the ads were really kind of too long, and I agree here. These are still too long. Like, we wanted about half this size to get good ad headlines, because brevity is king. When it comes to ads, they exiled the prince to die in the waste. They didn't realize what he would find out there. He thought the mountain city was built to keep the monsters out. He was completely wrong. Everything the mountain king told him was a lie. Out in the waste, the exiled prince just found out why. So some of these are good. I wouldn't say they're that much better than anything else, but like they're not bad. They're certainly not bad. All kind of running off of the same sort of thing. Once again, though, it did actually give me different categories of hooks. So we have like the monster and survival hooks. How does a betrayed prince survive a wasteland of energy vampires and the ravenous dead? And then down here we have the rebel and discovery hooks. The exiled prince thought humanity was dead outside the mountain, then he met the wasteland rebels. So it did divide them up, which I like, but overall, nothing particularly groundbreaking here. All right, then we get the email newsletter prompt. I was not too happy with the Claude models for this, so let's see how Gemini 3.1 does. I am absolutely thrilled to share some exciting news with you today. I've just finished writing my newest epic fantasy novel, The Crown of Hunger, and it will be officially released on December 21st. If you are a fan of the Count of Monte Cristo, but always wished it featured zombie-like horrors, shadowy magic, and a brutal fantasy landscape, this is the book you've been waiting for. Here's a quick taste of the story. So actually, I think this is better than what Claude was giving me for sure. So maybe Gemini is a little bit better at like natural sounding nonfiction speech or something like that. Like maybe if you want to use it in an email or something, or in an article or some kind of nonfiction, maybe Gemini might be a little bit better, because I do think it's more succinct. It's a little bit better than what I was getting out of the Claude models. All right, last but not least, we have the SEO article super prompt that I give it, where I give it this enormous prompt asking it to write 4,000 words of an article titled How to Write a Fantasy Novel. So let's check this and just see how many words it wrote to start with. 1,700, so not very good here. And if I'm looking through this, yep. Okay, so one of the issues I typically see with this prompt is a prompt that doesn't go through and write the whole thing out. Will kind of make just like a more detailed, more fleshed out outline, but not actually getting to the point where I would want it to be the full article. So I would prefer 3,000 to 4,000 words here, and it only wrote 1,700, which, having done the research on this particular article topic, my background's in SEO. Like, I chose the number 4,000 for a reason. I would definitely, like, if I were paying a human to write this article, I would not be okay with 1,700. I would ask them to do 4,000. So that's a fail on the SEO article. I have noticed that the Claude models tend to be better for writing lengthy things, like the outlines. The outline that Sonnet 4.6 wrote for me was it's like 18,000 words or so. And this one was a lot less. And then obviously the article is also a lot less. So if you want something to really go to town and flesh out a whole big thing, go with the Sonnet models instead. It'll do better generally. All right. That pretty much does it. So my final thoughts on Gemini 3.1, like I said, it almost felt worse to me. But then when I went back and checked my results for Gemini 3, I don't think it actually was worth it. I just think my standards have risen a little bit. And now looking at Gemini 3.1, I'm not really seeing a huge difference from Gemini 3. So it appeared worse to me, but I definitely don't think it is actually worse than Gemini 3, but I do think that the Claude models have caught up a little bit and are like, I'm happy to go back to those for most of my prose generation. Now, I do think Gemini 3, it's been fantastic for anything regarding like reasoning, like thinking through a scene and telling me what should be in the scene, that sort of thing. And then I go to a Claude model to actually write the scene. That's more of a workflow that I would still use and still trust Gemini 3.1 to do. So those are my finishing thoughts. Let me know what you think. Go ahead and, see what your tests show, and I'd be happy to see what those are in the comments below. Be sure to let me know, and I will see you in the next video.